Hello, Neuse Little Podcast listeners. Allow me a moment to promote our new official Neuse Little Theater merchandise. This can be bought at any show we have, any show in the 50th season that you come see. You can go up to the merch table and ask the man or lady, and you can get your official NLT merch. Here's what we have. We have hats, toboggans, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, and we even have big and tall sizes. Just ask the person and they'll set you right up. We also have blankets, pins, keychains, stickers, tumblers, frosted pint glass, coffee mug, aluminum water bottle, backpack, and tote bags, etc. We have it all. Be sure to check out our special anniversary merchandise, including our t-shirt featuring all the shows of our historic 50th season. Thank you, and thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome to Neuse Little Podcast. This is an audio presentation featuring the backstage antics and stories from your favorite log cabin located on the banks of the Neuse River in Smithfield, North Carolina. Please help us celebrate our 50th anniversary season by purchasing tickets on our website, neuselittletheater.org. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the various podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Now please, enjoy the show. Good evening and welcome to Neuse Little Podcast. Yes, we are finally into summer and Mother Nature has decided to stop playing with us and make it hot. They were like, all that cool 70-degree weather you had in May is over, and now it is time for the hotness. I'm Matt Gore, and I host this podcast, and I'm here with my producer, Madi Toole.
Hello.
And we have the cast of The Dinner Party, which is a production at Johnston Community College. I believe it's JAG Theatrics is the group that's putting it on. And we will talk to a portion of the cast here in a moment. But first, the business as usual. Sex Please We're 60 has come to a close. We are done with our 50th season and looking forward to our kids' summer camp and our 51st season after that. Now, we had big rousing audiences for Sex Please We're 60. Took a little bit of a hit the first weekend because of Memorial Day, but from what I understand, it really filled out towards the end. Right, Mita?
Yep.
Excellent. So, as I move my phone away from the microphone, our kids' summer camp is coming up. And what show are we doing this year, Mita? Was it?
Little Mermaid Junior.
Little Mermaid Junior. And do you have those dates on you by chance?
It would be June 27th at 7 o'clock. That's a Friday night. June 28th, a Saturday at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. And then Sunday, June 29th at 3 p.m.
Awesome. Cannot wait. Get the kids in here. Let them have some fun. Give you parents a break. That's what it's all about. Okay. So that does it for the NLT business. Now let's transition into the show. I had the director here with me and 3 cast members. I'm going to introduce them right now. Sitting across the table from me, making her second appearance on the podcast, is Madi Lee. And Madi, welcome back. And what character do you play in The Dinner Party?
Thank you. So I play Yvonne Fauché in the show.
Okay. Now, sitting next to her, I haven't met you yet. What was your name?
My name is Rayne.
Rayne. Okay, and what character do you play in The Dinner Party?
I play Claude Pichon.
Okay, so you guys are husband and wife?
No.
Okay, sorry.
We're not even ex. We're not even exes.
Are you sorry. What do you identify as? I'm sorry.
I'm non-binary.
Okay, so help me. Is that how should I say it properly? She, he. I'm sorry.
They, them.
They, them. Okay, all right. We want to get it right.
I appreciate it.
No problem. So, what is your character in the show?
My ex-wife isn't here. I play the ex-husband of Mariette Lavu.
Okay, that's cool. All right, now Zach, you're the director of the play.
Yes.
Give me a quick synopsis of the actual play.
So, this play, it's basically 6 guests are invited to this private supper club at La Cassette, which is a restaurant in Paris. It's set in the late 80s. And it's 3 divorced couples, and the funny thing is that all of them have the same divorce lawyer, and so the dinner party is in the divorce lawyer's name, Paul Gerard. However, he doesn't show up to the party, and his name is actually lended to someone else in the dinner party who is hosting this. And basically, the plan is for one of one of the guests who's in charge of this whole thing is to try and set everyone up to where they all get back together.
So it's like a big ruse.
Kind of.
It was like a ploy to get all these people back together. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly a ploy for her to get her and her own ex-husband to get back together.
So it's her idea.
It's her idea, and she's also best friends with Paul Gerard's wife.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Sorry. And then we have another cast member here with us. What was your name, sir?
Hello, my name is Jack.
Okay.
And I'm playing the character of Albert Dene, who is actually Yvonne Fouché's ex-husband, twice divorced.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking around the table and I see all these fresh young faces, and you're all playing divorced characters. So how did this play happen, Zach? I mean, how did you guys choose to come Neil Simon's The Dinner Party, which is as a Neil Simon play I hadn't heard of before this?
Yeah, it's a relatively speaking, with what he's written, because he's done a lot of stuff in like the 70s and that time period. This is a relatively more modern play. I think it was published or copyrighted in like 2000, and it was first premiered at the Music Box Theater with Henry Winkler and John Ritter in the original cast. And I don't exactly remember where we got the idea to do the show. I looked over at my coworker Katie Garcia. She's the technical director of the show, and we were bouncing around a whole bunch of ideas of what we wanted to do for our second show through the club at the college. And I knew I wanted something different than a drama, because our first show back in January was Our Town, so I wanted something completely different. So we were thinking maybe a Western or a comedy, and I was like, I kind of like the idea of a comedy. And so we browsed all these websites to find a show and just read all the synopsis. I think we had like 10 shows kind of picked out at one point, and The Dinner Party wasn't one of them. And I came across it on one of these websites, and I read it and I said, this actually sounds kind of crazy. And I watched, there's only one production in full filmed and posted on YouTube from a community theater that did it 6 years ago, and I watched it, and I thought it was hilarious and genius. I mean, it's Neil Simon. You can't get any better than that when it comes to this. And then I looked over at my coworker and I was like, let's just do this. We have the space for it. We can get all the resources we can get for the costumes and the set, and I'm sure we can find some great actors to play these roles fairly well, and we can put on a good show with this.
Yeah, I was looking at some of your pictures online, and I was also researching some of your cast. I know Madi, I know Emily, and I'm meeting Jack, and what was your name again? I'm sorry, Rayne for the first time. But there was a cast member named. Let's talk about some of the other. Take this as an opportunity to talk about the other cast members. Yeah. Nicole
Montijo.
Okay, I don't know her. I've never met her, but I do know that she was in something in Carrie, something Sonia Flew.
Yeah, Sonia Flew. She just closed on Sonia Flew, which it was a fabulous show. I went to go see previews, and it was really good. It was really good. I
always like it when theaters take a chance on something that's not well known and a little bit off the beaten path, which is what caught my eye for The Dinner Party. Because I was like, The Dinner Party. I was just like, why wouldn't you do like one of the more known Neil Simon? But then I thought about it a little bit, and I was just like, actually, I kind of like this because when are you going to get a chance? You're just not going to get a chance to see this Neil Simon play many times in this area. It's just not going to happen. And
my colleague Katie, she suggested we do The Odd Couple like many times. We would like do a twist on it and everything, and I was like, but
no, you can't because we're doing it.
But I was really set on this one. I was like, nobody knows it. It could do very well. Like, and just like you said, who in this area, what theater is gonna do this show anytime soon?
I like it because they're gonna recognize the name Neil Simon and be like, okay, it's Neil Simon.
That was the selling point there.
Oh yeah, sure, it has a pedigree for sure. All right, let's talk about the characters. So, okay, so Madi, you started to tell me a little bit about your character. I mean, tell me about it all. How did you get roped into this? Did Zach just call you and stuff?
Yeah, so Zach reached out to me, and I had just finished The Sound of Music, and literally we closed and I went straight into rehearsals. So I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out with the timing, being like the shows kind of overlapped. And so I sent in my tape and I read through the script and I was like, oh, this is hilarious. I have to make this work. And so, yeah, now I'm here.
I showed up to, I don't remember which showing it was, but I showed up to one of the shows for Sound of Music with you and Emily's script. And I said, I know y'all got another weekend left, but here you go. Start learning your script.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were like showing up to Sound of Music with scripts already
Yeah.
ready for Madi and Emily Altman, who is also in the cast.
And she plays Gabrielle Bonicelli, which is Andre Boville's ex-wife, who is Jamari Walker. He's not here today.
Right. Does that round out the cast, Jamari Walker?
That rounds out the cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see he's from like the Garner area, perhaps.
He lives in Raleigh, and he and I met alongside Nicole. We did a show last summer called Between the Lines, and Mike McGee directed that
Yes.
one as well.
Yes.
And so that's how we found it, or we met each other.
And I know the choreographer Molly Hamlin was also in the orbit down
Yep.
there. Yeah. I got to get down and see some Carrie shows. It sounds like you guys are producing a lot of good work. I have seen Carrie shows. I've seen Clue and I've seen Wait Until Dark a couple of years ago, but it just seems like you guys are finding a good niche down there. So Rayne, tell us about your experience working on The Dinner Party with Neil Simon. Did you audition? How did it happen?
I auditioned. I was in the first play the JAG Theatrics did, Our Town. I was playing the stage manager then. So when, the auditions came around for a second time, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So I came to the audition, and we were supposed to have like a short comedic monologue prepared. I did the second place monologue from Brennan Lee Mulligan's on Dropout. So I used that, and I auditioned. And then a few days later, I got a text from Zach saying, hey, with your availability, we'd love to have you as a bigger part, but since your availability is so low, would you be an understudy? And I was like, actually, my availability just opened up, so I'm going to be completely free. So if you want me to take an actual role. And he was like, oh, great, we would love to have you as Claude Pichon. And I was like, perfect.
So Jack, how did you get roped into this cast here of The Dinner Party by Neil Simon?
When I found out that JAG Theatrics was going to be doing a comedy, I was really interested because that seemed like, especially after getting out of my comfort zone with Our Town, I was like, I think it would be really fun to do a comedy. And the thing about my character is that Albert is sort of the one that I didn't really look at too much. Like, I looked at the other two and was considering them. And then I got casted as Albert, and the more that I've gotten into that character, I sort of realized that it's kind of like my dream character in a way, because he's like kind of the comic relief. He's awkward, like funny. He's got a bunch of funny bits. So in a way, I don't really have to act for that. So yeah, it's just been really fun getting to kind of get into that kind of character. So
how long do you guys have left? You guys got about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that?
Let's see. We got this
about 3 full weeks.
About 3 weeks. We got this week coming up of Stumble Throughs, and then next week is full runs off book, I think.
And then Tech Week.
And then after that is Tech Week, and then the week of Tech Week is we open for the one weekend.
With what you said earlier about all of the things for The Little Mermaid, they're going to have to choose between The Little Mermaid and The Dinner Party, it sounds like.
Let's see, the kids' parents going like, well, we should see our kids in a Little Mermaid. But man, The Dinner Party is down the road, you know. Let me take this opportunity to actually give you the dates for The Dinner Party. Premiering at Johnston Community College by Neil Simon, directed by Zachary Schultz. Tickets are $10. You can go on the website www.johnstoncommunitycollege.edu/performing arts.
Well, a quick correction on that, actually. So Johnston Community College actually updated their whole website recently, and that website unfortunately does not exist anymore if you click on it. But there are posters posted up in Smithfield with the QR code that brings you to the correct website. But if you want to search up, you can search up ETICS Paul A. Johnston Auditorium. It should be the first one up there, and then that's the correct one.
Good, because I was hoping there was another option to leave your house and scan a QR code.
Leave your house, scan a QR code, and you'll be good.
No, and honestly, it's a big theater. It is, and if you. I am willing to bet if you show up and want to see the play, you can get a ticket.
Yes, the box office will be open at the door. Cash, any form of payment. Yes.
I'm sure they're hoping that they have to turn people away, but with 1,000 seats.
With 1,000 seats.
with 1,007 seats.
We've got 1,000 seats to fill.
That's
and Neil Simon's most obscure
Those are the ones you're holding back for the at the door people.
Yeah. Right.
But let me give the actual dates. June 27th at 7 p.m. June 28th, 2 shows on June 28th. One at 3 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. So that's 3 performances total for the dinner party at Johnston Community College. Just show up, and I'm sure you'll be able to get inside.
So say we have a Sunday matinee, so they can go see your show and then come see Little Mermaid.
Exactly.
There you
Yes.
go.
Exactly.
Sounds-
Double feature.
Sounds like a great Saturday.
Absolutely. And like the tired kid is from summer camp, and they're like, "What is this?" Oh, the dinner party.
I'm not sure I'd recommend bringing a small
Not
child
even-
to this.
Not even barefoot in the park. Take your kids to see the dinner party is what I say. You can do it. Come on, parents. Parent. I've heard parenting is
Just won't be our
even that
summer.
hard.
Well, just won't be our summer camp kids because they'll be here doing a show.
All right.
I mean, if you feel like explaining some things to your kids, then sure, bring them.
Go for it.
All right, I've gone on this tangent long enough. Let's get back to the play. Okay, so Zach, what is your? The more you talk, I'm like, no, honestly, the more you talk, I'm like, we need to get Zach on every podcast because
This is my first time on a podcast, by the way.
You're doing great.
Oh,
You,
thank
you're,
Does it JCC have a podcast? Does it the auditorium have a podcast? Oh,
There's
I
a-
thought
there's a
maybe.
room
Speak Club
for it.
used to have a podcast. They were trying to. I was helping record and narrate for the first Speak podcast. We were having a debate podcast. It never got edited and it never got published.
There is a room for recording a podcast. I think it's in the LRC, which is where the library is at. But as far as I know, all the equipment's gone. There was a lot redone during like COVID, and like a lot of things shifted around. Programs gone, new programs coming, and it's. So,
Yeah, for some
unfortunately-
reason I thought Sean had started one or had done one. Maybe I was just confused.
I don't think it was a podcast. I think JCC had a radio station, actually.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
maybe that was it.
that's what it was, yeah.
and I should bring up that you actually work with Sean
Yes.
Braswell.
He's
over-
my direct supervisor at the theater, yeah.
What's he like as boss? Let's talk some smack about him.
I mean, what can I say? He's just Sean Braswell. That's pretty much it.
That tracks.
No, he's a great boss. He's a great boss. Real chill guy to just be around. He'll talk to you about anything theater or anything, just anything really.
What was his? Because I asked it. No. When I first saw the poster for this, I screenshotted it and I sent it to Sean. I was like, "Is this legit?" Because I didn't hear about your first one. I did not hear about Our Town for whatever reason. It was off my radar. And then I texted Sean. I was like, "Is this legit? Is this a real thing that's happening?" And then he said, "Yeah." I was just like, "Was it your idea?" And I was like, "No, but I supported it." So, did you like bring the script to him?
No, actually, I didn't.
Is Sean hands off on this, where it's just like as long as you don't break anything, it's fine?
It was more of just like he was just in the room when everything was happening. I don't think I ever like.
I was just sitting
Fly
there
on the
watching-
wall.
I've been in that office. I'm just sitting here and imagining Zach at his desk just working away. Go, oh, this one would be good. And Sean just going, yeah, that's a good one. And then going back to whatever he's doing.
He was looking at. So he gave me some of the websites to like look on. Concord Theatricals is where I found the script for the dinner party, and he gave me some others as well. Like I was also considering Almost Maine to be one of them. I thought that was like a good similar one to Our Town that we could have done, and I was kind of dead set on that one. And then this one came along, and I was like, I like this one better.
Well, we did Almost Maine, and it would be a good one when you're not sure how many people you're going to have,
Yeah.
because you can double up quite a bit, and you can expand it as you need to, so everybody can have their own.
It's also good with time because you don't have to have the whole cast there every single night.
Right.
It's like, for at least like the first couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So, Maddie, has this one been different from the other shows? Are you kind of like hitting the ground running? Or are you just doing the same process you always do for your character?
So it's been a minute since I've had like a new script. I did The Sound of Music before this, so I didn't really have any lines because I was a nun. And then prior to that, I was here doing The Foreigner, which I had done prior to. So it's been weird getting my feel like for a new script again. So I'm having to kind of relearn that process. But honestly, like with this cast, it's been great. Like I feel like we've hit the ground running and really getting into character. And, you know, half the cast is already like does not have their book in their hand already. Like it's really impressive. Everyone has been absolutely fantastic. So yeah.
Rayne, so you were in one previous NLT show, right?
Yes, I was in The Wizard of Oz.
And what'd you do in The Wizard of Oz?
I was a crow, citizen of the Emerald City, and I was one of the guards. I was.
She got to say OAO a lot.
Yeah. So you were one of the.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You got to carry one of the cool little.
Yes.
Spears.
Yes, those were some very nice spears.
I just remember sitting in the box office during that show run, and the soldiers running outside from the theater to get to the other side to enter.
That
again.
was the hardest part because some of us guards were like very unprofessional, and some of us also had asthma, so that was hard. That was very hard.
Jorge didn't keep you in line?
Oh, he was the most professional, and I was his second in command.
Guys, don't mess this up for me, okay?
Well, he was the Winky General, so he was supposed to keep them in line.
Right. All right, Jack. What previous theater have you done before the dinner party?
So all I've done in terms of theater is just Our Town, which JAG Theatrics did in January in less than a month.
We did a great job on that.
Well, Our Town's as an interesting play. It's easy to do. It can be easy to do because you can do the whole minimal scenery thing, and but it's also has a lot of mature themes that you can't kind of brush over easily. Like like there's themes of suicide, there's themes of loss, there's themes of grief and stuff like that. So it's an interesting play to do. What character did you play in Our Town? Or characters?
I played the newspaper boy. His name was Joe Crowell Jr. And then later in the show, I played his little brother, Cy Crowell. And then lastly, I think I played, he was a mourner. I think his name was Sam Craig.
Yes, Sam Craig, I remember.
And I think combined, I had probably a total of less than 15 lines, probably. So this show has definitely been quite a step up.
He's really impressed me throughout this whole show run because, like he said, his only experience theater-wise prior to this was Our Town, and that was it was a one-act version. And I remember his audition for the dinner party. He came very prepared. He didn't have anything in front of him that he was reading, and he just whipped out this 1-minute monologue completely by memory. Made some great choices and strong choices too, and he's just been so dedicated and determined and just really on board with this whole show the whole time. It's just I wish that I was in his shoes and had that energy too when I was in high school. And
You act like
I didn't do high school. I didn't do theater in high school.
What are you, 2 years older
I'm
than
22 and he's how old are you?
17.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're 40 years old.
I'm
I remember back in
90
my
at heart.
day.
That's what I am.
You're about to go off to college. You're about to go to UNCG, which brings me to my next question. I'm impressed with all of you. For real, I'm glad you guys are doing this. This is an interesting type of thing. When I first saw it and Sean confirmed that it was real, I was just like, interesting. Possibilities for stuff in the future. But what is going back to you, Zach? What is your plan? Because it seems like you have a good handle for this. When you talk about the show, I'm just like, this guy knows what he's talking about. So what's your plan for the future?
So I just graduated from Johnston Community College in December. I did the May commencement ceremony with my associates in arts. And choosing UNC Greensboro was actually kind of a last minute out of nowhere decision. It was actually Nicole who influenced me to choose that school because she went there for theater, and I went and visited many times. And I was like, I want to do this. And I auditioned for the BFA program. Unfortunately, didn't get in. But it's okay because I'm still really excited to do the BA and learn everything I can. But I'm going to get my bachelor's in arts, majoring in drama. And after that, I would love to do regional theater up and down from Wisconsin to Florida and just do as much as I can. And the end goal is I would love to be a director, actually. Out of nowhere, choosing to direct Our Town and then this, I really found something that I felt the most in my element, because I love being on stage no matter what, because I love singing. I've been singing and playing piano at recitals ever since I was 8, and theater is kind of a brand new thing for me. I started 2 years ago, actually. I got kind of dragged into Putnam, Benson's production of Putnam. Keith called me. She was like, hey, So we need a male understudy and backup vocal, and we know you can sing. Do you want to do this? And I was like, oh, okay. And I had no theater experience, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But if
That was your first show?
Putnam was my first show.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep, it was. And so I came to every rehearsal, even though I didn't have to. I just wanted to see the process, and I just absolutely loved it all. And that's where I met Madi. And well, no, we met 5 years ago, actually.
Yes,
and
we
then
met when we were like 14.
something like we did Benson's Got Talent Junior. Yeah, but that's where we kind of like rekindled our friendship there, and I met Bridget and Eric and basically the whole cast, and like we're all still very close now. And I didn't get my first like onstage role until Liberty Valance, actually.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That was my first onstage role. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now that's something I wanted to ask. When you said Western earlier, were you thinking of Liberty Valance? You better not.
No, I was not.
You better not. That's my baby.
I won't touch it.
Any talk about Liberty Valance, Matt Gore has to be in the room.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I won't touch that. No.
Because I think that's actually a really good idea. Because the play did well here.
It did.
And honestly, that script is one of the best I've ever read. And I kept thinking, I'm just like, it's enough of a name. It could go to like maybe JCC or Goldsboro or something like that. I'm not saying right now, but eventually, yes.
Yeah, I remember my mom telling me, because she came to see it, that the scene, it was Daniel and Randy during that face-off during, I don't know, were they playing dice or something?
Yeah, they were playing Liar's Dice.
Yeah, and the intensity right during that scene, and before Randy's character took Daniel outside basically to shoot him dead, and
actually to lynch him.
To lynch him, yeah. Like I remember my mom telling me that she sobbed during that scene.
That is probably it's not me, but that is the best scene I've ever directed. I've directed something like 12, 13 shows, and that's easily the best scene I've directed. All respect to Clue, which I think is one of my, as a whole, is one of my best. I'm very proud of what I accomplished on Clue. But if we're talking about one specific scene, it's that scene in Liberty Valance. But that's not because of me at all. That's because I had several secret weapons, and his name was Daniel. The other one's name was Randy, and the other was the dude that wrote the script. Because honestly, I didn't do much. I just kind of let them play. Tony came in and did a little bit of fight choreography that refined it a little bit, so I have to give some credit to him. But that scene, that's why you do theater. That scene touched on some magic that is you just don't get with every single show, unfortunately. But that had very little to do with me as a director and more with the actors and the script, to be totally honest. But I do want to do it again one day, somewhere, and maybe a larger venue, and to see if I can do it on a bigger stage, because that was a fun show. Sorry,
That's all good.
Back to your show. Well, we should mention we should mention Benson Little Theater.
Yes.
You mentioned Bridget Sabrinas is directing their summer camp right now, and you guys are doing Finding Nemo Jr. And when were the dates for those? Did you have them? Someone had them.
August, isn't it?
No, it's
July.
July.
It's in July.
July.
Sorry. Hold on. We can take a little pause.
Who's directing Nemo?
Bridget.
Lindsay.
Oh, that was Bridget.
No, it's
Lindsay Hayes
yeah.
is directing Nemo Jr., but then they're also doing a kids class that Bridget Soberanis is.
You're right.
directing.
And then you're doing a scene study class with GH and
Keith.
Yeah, Keith. And my phone is on SOS, so I can't get any service, but I do want to mention that. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, yeah. It was
If somebody else wants to look it up, please do, because
I got it.
I have an unavailable network right
Nate's
now.
got it.
Okay.
Let me pull up my notes.
We love background Nate.
It's
Every
usually what I
podcast
am.
just have Nate in the background.
Cut it.
Yeah, I'm cutting all this.
I do have a question while we're waiting.
Go ahead.
Whose decision was it to try and start up a acting
The
group
the club
at JCC? Yeah.
Well,
Fun story.
I don't know actually, because it's kind of been an up and down, ebb and flow kind of group. From my experience, because I didn't start working as a staff member at the theater and since like 2 years ago, and from what I remember, my supervisor at the time, she was in charge of the weekly
Drama
hour for the Spectrum Club, and it was very successful in the beginning, and then kind of slowly throughout the semester it just kind of lost momentum, interest, and participation. And so that kind of gave me inspiration to like want to do that for just do a whole drama club as a whole instead of just like specific to just one day for the whole college. But I think what the problem was with getting participation was there weren't a lot of students on campus, or the college students would come for their 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. classes, be done, and then leave.
Right.
Because they all drive themselves, and we're just left with the high school students on campus. And so basically, it was last year, I want to say in September, me and, or Katie and I, we went ahead and picked a name, went ahead through all the paperwork and everything, started it up, and gained a following, but slowly kind of the same thing happened. It was a lot of interest in the beginning, and then just slowly kind of fell off from there. And I think what also had to do with is there was a lot of events and shows going on in the theater near the end of the semester. Kind of that October through December is just insane for the theater at JCC, and one of the shows was Wizard of Oz there as well. But December especially, and I think the format with trying to do like weekly or even every other week of like meetings and trying to find an available time for everyone to be able to come was really hard to do. And so the new semester, which back in January, I wanted to change things up and kind of reevaluate what this club really was. And so instead of kind of making it like a class and like teaching them theater and like doing like improv games or scenes or monologues, we just put on shows. Let's just put on a show, because I knew that's what I wanted to do. And so basically, our town in a nutshell, I looked at Katie, she looked at me, I said, let's do this. And in less than a month, we put a show together with duct tape and glitter, and it came out to be this really, actually, it was incredible. It was like the theater magic is real, because it was just January that we had rehearsals. I held auditions at the beginning of December, had it cast the next week. We didn't start rehearsals until January 1st. We had our first table read, and we lost a whole week of rehearsals due to snow. And that final dress rehearsal, something clicked, and it was just amazing. And then the actual show itself, we had about 100 people in the audience. It was a great turnout. What we wanted to do is we wanted to make it more invite family and friends of the cast and the crew, kind of an exclusive, intimate event. And it was very successful. Everyone did a fantastic job, and I couldn't be more proud than all of them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when you were saying it, I was like, oh, because there used to be a bigger drama department way back in the day. That tells you how old I am. I mean, I think they actually had classes.
Yeah, it was in the STEAM building, and then.
But it would be hard to sort of do the club option without people there specifically taking classes, because. One, it's not like a regular college campus, 4-year campus, because people have jobs. People have other things to do. They're coming for their classes, and then they got to go out and do real life stuff. And those, they don't hang around campus all day in the quad like you do at a 4-year college. So, yeah, I can see where it would be difficult to sort of continually get people interested in sticking around. So.
Yeah, and the dream is, and kind of moving forward, because I won't be there for much longer, because I would love to see this continue, is the president of the college, Dr. Lindquist, he's in full support of this. He's really excited about this. He was actually he was a little bit upset at me for not telling him about our town, because he would have loved to come and see it. And so he was like, the next show you do, like, let me know about it, because I want to be there. And so it's really great to get that support from him. But Sean was telling me that he spoke at there was a Rotary Club meeting, and he gave a speech and was talking about he mentioned JAG Theatrics and the dinner party for everyone to come and see it. And Sean was telling me that Dr. Lewis asked him is JAG Theatrics open to students outside of Johnston Community College and open for any college student or even high school student age to come and participate in. Or maybe it wasn't him that someone asked Sean if it was open for other students outside of the JCC realm to participate, and Sean told me that Dr. Lindquist shook his head. Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
I think if you open it more to the public instead of it just being a JCC thing, I think you might get a lot more interest in coming out. So, but that's just my 2 cents.
Interesting.
All right, back to Finding Nemo Jr.
Yes. So, the dates for Finding Nemo Jr. are, Maddie, what are they?
They are July 11th, 12th, and 13th. And the 12th, there are going to be 2 shows, and there's going to be a sensory-friendly performance for the matinee. which is great. We've done sensory friendly performances in the past, and they've gone over really well. So I'm really glad that we're bringing that back.
That's cool. And also, there's two classes. If I'm not, there's two classes. There's a scene study class, and then what was that other class that Bridget was perhaps doing?
I believe it's called Lights, Curtain, Action.
Oh, like an intro to theater.
Yes, it's
Gotcha.
an intro to theater for little kids.
Cool. And this the scene study class. Sorry, do you have the dates for that?
It's in August. It's what,
I believe
6
it's
weeks
like
in August?
it's 6 weeks. I believe on Thursdays.
Starting
It's
in
once
August.
a week, starting in August.
yeah.
So, and it is ran by two very talented individuals, D.H. Johnston and Jerry Keith Lyles. When Zachary says Keith, that's who he's referring to. And it's just going to be a more in-depth kind of acting seminar type deal. And I think that's good for people who kind of want to brush up, and maybe they're not getting what they need to from like auditions and stuff like that, and maybe like, what else do I need to work on? And an outside perspective is always good when it comes to acting and stuff. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. I really do thank you guys for participating in a very lively conversation. Zach, man, you feel
I
some.
was going to say thank you so much for sitting here while Zach talked. The whole
Yeah,
time.
no.
This is what it's like to be his friend too, and it's absolutely wonderful.
He has stepped into multiple scenes and like, I'm going to physically show you what you should do. And then he's like, okay, now you do it. And then he interrupts, is like, no, wait, do this. So, but it's very nice having someone hands-on be like, yes, do this. And then, okay, you're doing it wonderfully.
And then they come the next day and do everything that I told them to do, and it's just like I'm doing my job correctly, I guess.
What about you,
You are a
Zach?
miracle worker.
What about like stepping it? Like how do you think of Zach as a director? What have you got from this whole process? Just it doesn't have to be from Zach or just anything.
I mean, I honestly think he's been really great. Like, I don't have obviously like other directors other than him, but like I feel like it's probably like as good as you could get, honestly. Because I feel like my thing is like, I've heard that there can be some like really mean directors, so that would probably be one of my like fears if I were to
like
continue.
how like what mean? How,
I'm
elaborate.
not sure. I've just
Elaborate.
I'm not sure. I've just
Give me the tea.
I feel like anybody in a
Ooh.
position of power could like.
Do you want to hear about the director I had when I was in 8th grade?
Is it a teacher or something like that?
Worse. She was a grandmother, and she gave her grandsons the best roles in The Lion King Jr., even though they could not sing.
That happens regularly, like in community theater today. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. I wanted to do this for your show because I think it sounds like you guys got a good handle on the rehearsal process and all that and don't need any help. But if you did need some help, I thought maybe perhaps it could be marketing. So
Marketing for sure, yeah.
Yes. We need to get you need to just get it out there into the community that you're doing this show, that it's a Neil Simon play. And I think that will be good for the group as a whole to get more people involved. As Mita said, I think the public angle is probably better for you guys. It'll keep it less insulated. So
And it won't die off every couple of years
Right.
because the people who want to do it leave and move on to do other things.
So before you leave, Zach, you got to make sure you have a good successor or somebody that'll head it up for you.
I might just be like, Sean, here you go.
I love Sean. Sean's a close friend of mine. I think you should consider other people. no, and also I can bust Sean's chops a lot because we've known each other for like 10, 15 years. But in reality, I know he's a very busy man. If you want to see the dinner party at Johnston Community College, please either go to the box office at Johnston Community College or scan their QR code on a poster around the area of Smithfield. And it's going to go up Friday, June 27th, at 7 p.m. And then Saturday, 2 shows, June 28th at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. That only took me 3 times, people. So that's why they're laughing in the background.
And if you want to find it online, you Google E-Tix.
E-Tix, Polly Johnson Auditorium.
Polly Johnson Auditorium.
Yes, please go support it. This is a good group. It seems like they know what they're doing, and I can't wait to see it. Tickets are $10. That is really good for live theater people.
Please, our family members can only buy so many tickets.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys once again. I'm going to leave it there. You guys have given me a lot of content, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you to
Thank
Maddie.
you.
Thank you to Rayne. Thank you to Zach. Thank you to Jack. So, I didn't
Their
get time.
names are very similar.
See, putting Jack and Zach next to each other was not the move.
You called him Zachary.
Did I call him
You
Zachary?
called me Zachary and you called him Zach.
Only the best for you guys.
Only.
The best. Polished, ready to go, content. Just,
It's a drinking game. Every time people listen, it's like, let's see what we listen to now.
Every time Matt says, drink, and we're dead in the first 6 minutes. So, all right. Thank you guys for listening. If you've held on this long, we appreciate you. We appreciate you listening to our podcast. All 23 of you. We really love you. So go see the dinner party at JCC. Hopefully next year or a couple of months we'll be talking about another play going on at JCC. And that's the goal. All right. Thank you again. I'm Matt Gore. That's my producer, Mita.
So.
Peace out, y'all.